selected for GPT, Gemini, or Cloud? Which is the best option?
सर इन तीनों में द बेस्ट ऑप्शन इज जेमिनाई एंड द
Okay.
रीजन फॉर दैट इज बिकॉज जेमिनाई is made by Google. So Gemini can also do Google search and Google Scholar search. So that's why Gemini is the best product for us.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
हाँ, हेलो अनुराग सर,
Yes, ma'am.
अनिला पटेल।
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ सर, एआई इतना इंफॉर्मेशन देती है, बहुत सारी,
जी मैम।
वोकैबुलरी हमारे पास तो लिमिटेड है, तो
जी मैम।
सर उनको चेक करना होगा कि ये सही है या ओवरफ्लो है या क्या है, मतलब कि हमारे सब्जेक्ट के कंटेंट के रिलेटेड है और आउट ऑफ रिलेटेड है, तो हमें हमारी लैंग्वेज में उसको ट्रांसलेट करके देखना पड़ेगा ना सर?
मैम बिल्कुल देखना पड़ेगा, बट उससे पहले हम एक चीज और कर सकते हैं कि जनरली जब लेट्स से कि हमने एआई आर्टिकल लिखवाया है, तो एक दूसरे चैट विंडो में एआई को देके बोल सकते हैं कि कैन यू चेक कि यहाँ पे सारे के सारे रेफरेंसेस सही है कि नहीं है, यहाँ पे जो कॉन्सेप्ट बताए गए हैं वो करेक्ट है कि नहीं है, तो हम एआई से चेक भी करा सकते हैं। तो वो जो जब चेक करता है, वो जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि आई हैव टू गेट इट चेक, सो आई नीड अ न्यू सेट ऑफ आईज, कि मेरे को तो दिख नहीं रहा है बट समबडी एल्स विल फाइंड एरर इन इट, सेम थिंग हैपेंस इन एरर। तो आप पूरा आर्टिकल वापस एआई को देके उससे चेक करने को बोलिए कि चेक फॉर एरर्स, चेक फॉर कॉन्सेप्चुअल मिस्टेक्स, चेक की लिंक्स एग्जिस्ट एंड द रेफरेंसेस एग्जिस्ट, तो वो चेक करेगा। बट अगेन दैट इज नॉट अ 100% सॉल्यूशन, बट इसके बाद जो आपको आउटपुट मिलेगा that will be 99% sure ki there will be no errors in it. And I'll show you an example of that now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay. Okay then. So see you at 2 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Thank you
you,
so
sir.
much, sir. Thank you,
you,
sir. Friends, you please stay connected. Don't leave the meeting. Just take refreshment break of 5 minutes. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
This mental model is, this is very basic, not something very fancy, but maybe it will help you think about AI in a new way, right? I'll not take much time on this theory, maybe another 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll get into some hands-on demo, and you can also try out your handset then. So here is a mental model to understand AI, okay? And this is basically, first thing is people think AI is a tool. That is a very wrong point of view, because generally tools are designed for a specific purpose and then you use them for that purpose and that's it. Jo AI hai, that is much more general purpose, right? It is not designed to do anything specific. It can do lots of things. And AI in many ways is similar to Google search now. जैसे Google search होता है, मैं Google search एक तरीके से यूज करता हूँ, आई एम श्योर आपके खुद के तरीके होंगे Google search यूज करने के, right? So teaching generative AI is kind of like, teaching somebody how to use Google search. So everybody has their own ways, and it can do a lot of things, and it is up to us कि हम वो technology कैसे use करेंगे, right? So the simplest mental model that we can have about AI is, don't think of it like a tool. First thing, कि ये tool नहीं है. Think of it like you have like an Einstein as your sidekick, right? And what do I mean by Einstein? Not Albert Einstein himself, but think of it this way: कि when these AI models were created, basically they were trained on whatever data was available on internet and in books. So basically ये जो AI model है, इसके पास वो सारी नॉलेज है जो ह्यूमैनिटी के सबसे एडवांस्ड एक्सपर्ट्स के पास थी, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन पब्लिश रिसर्च पेपर्स, ही पब्लिश बुक्स, even like older, like Seneca and all, they wrote philosophy books. So it has read all of those books. So after reading all of those books, ऐसा नहीं है कि ये जो AI है उसने एक पूरा का पूरा कीवर्ड मैप बना रखा है कि अगर कोई मुझे फिलॉसफी बोलेगा तो मैं सेनेका के आर्टिकल्स ढूंढ के दे दूंगा, कोई मुझे फिजिक्स का रिलेटिविटी के बारे में पूछेगा तो मैं आइंस्टाइन दे दूंगा. दिस मॉडल इज काइंड ऑफ लाइक अ आर्टिफिशियल सबकॉन्शियस, जैसे हमारी ह्यूमन सबकॉन्शियस होती है कि उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं बट वी डोंट नो एग्जैक्टली ऑल थिंग्स आर देयर. Similarly, what we have built when we say GPT-4 models, GPT-5 models, these are kind of like a digital subconscious which understand all of these human concepts, right? So when we are talking to them, we are actually talking to all these experts jinka material has gone into the training data of this AI, right? So these AI models are very smart. And this is something that we have to factor in when we're talking to it. Another thing that these AI models are very good at is we can define a role for them. For example, we can make them a comedian, we can make them a poet, we can make them a therapist, we can make them a coach. अगर आपको और कोई रोल प्ले भी करना है इनके साथ तो वो भी कर सकते हैं, राइट? So for example, we can say chat GPT को you're CEO of a company, now respond to me only like a CEO would, and then you will see कि chat GPT का पूरा personality change हो जाता है. If you say कि you are Albert Einstein, you're going to respond only like Albert Einstein. AI का पूरा the way it thinks, the way it responds, everything changes 100%, right? So this is something that we have to keep in mind. कि giving a role to AI or at least telling AI कि ये role तुम play कर रहे हो is very important, right? Why? Because again, it is just like a person, like Albert Einstein, a very high IQ person, जिसके पास entire knowledge of humanity है. Because if you think about it, जब internet create हुआ, in last 20 years, we have digitized most of the books. We have digitized most of the knowledge that humans had. Then this knowledge was used to build this AI model. So AI model has an intuition about this knowledge. It is not doing some, like file में जाके knowledge ढूंढ के giving to us. It has an intuition for it, just like how we build intuition when we read a lot of content, right? And then that is how it is able to respond to the answer. And that's why AI content does not have plagiarism, because it is not picking answers from somewhere like it's training data and giving to us, but it actually understands the concepts that it is actually talking about. And when I say it understands the concept, मतलब जो AI होता है, AI के अंदर जैसे कोई AI अगर कोई सेंटेंस है तो बेसिकली AI ये नहीं पता है कि उसमें क्या क्या वर्ड्स हैं. AI को ये भी पता है कि उस सेंटेंस का टुगेदर मीनिंग क्या है, वो चीज भी AI को पता होती है, राइट? So this first thing very clear, don't treat it like a tool, treat it like a very high IQ person जिसके पास humanity का पूरा knowledge है, and we can give it any role we want, right? So please always define a role for your AI when you are asking it to do anything for you, right? Second thing is AI के बहुत सारे limitations हैं. So for example, it can make mistakes, it can jump to conclusions, like wrong conclusions also, and it can misunderstand things. But ऐसा नहीं है कि ये we are completely unfamiliar with these problems. So it's like when we talk to our colleagues, when we talk to our friends, right? We have the same problems with them also. Sometimes they make mistake. Why did they make mistake? Maybe they heard us wrong, or maybe they understood us wrong. Sometimes they jump to conclusion. Why do they jump to conclusion? Because they don't have all the information that we have. We have not communicated all that information to them. Sometimes they misunderstand. Why? Because they were thinking that we are talking about something else and we were talking about something else altogether. We had not defined the role properly. कि उनको करना क्या है? What is our expectation from them, right? And we are seeing all of the same things that we used to see in humans, same limitations in AI right now. Right? So it is not like something totally new. This is something because of how the AI is built is why we are seeing this error. And that is because AI acts more like a person than it acts like a tool, right? And this is something very interesting to me also. And this is something that I work extensively on, right? How can we reduce this? Why are these mistakes happening and all? But AI has reached वो stage, जैसे कि अगर हम एक साल पहले भी when we used to talk about AI, we used to say, okay, this is a good enough toy. But I don't know if we can use it for any useful work. Till I would say 1.5 years back, that is how we used to talk about AI, right? But in these last 1.5 years, especially the development that has happened in 2026 since January and February, now AI is not a limitation. अगर आपको कोई AI बनाना है, which can become Prime Minister of a country, CEO of a company, we can build those AIs. Only thing is that AI is going to be very costly for us. That is the only limitation. The cost of using AI is the only limitation we have. But agar you can imagine something today, and if you have the skill set to communicate it to AI properly, which is a soft skill, then AI can do it. AI no longer relies on the training data it has to do things. We can teach new skills to AI now just by having a conversation with it, right? And that is why understanding of AI has become as essential as reading and writing now. And I think this is very clear because we know ki there is a particular way to think, the particular way humans think, particular way to talk to people, particular way that, you should write an article or, package an information just so ki other person can consume it. These same skills are needed. But the thing is now, rather than talking to a different person, we are talking to an AI. So AI doesn't think like us, right? AI doesn't write like us. AI doesn't consume content like us. So we need to know about these things. Okay. And for us to understand this, I think there is this one concept that we have to definitely look at. कि एटलीस्ट थोड़ा सा इंट्यूशन हमें होना चाहिए कि एआई काम कैसे करता है. और इसका रीजन ये है कि जो एआई टूल्स, अगर एआई प्रोडक्ट्स अगर आप देख रहे हैं तो उनका लुक एंड फील कीप्स चेंजिंग वेरी ड्रास्टिकली. अब जैसे जीमेल है, जीमेल हैजंट चेंज इन 10 years. लाइक मे बी थोड़ा बहुत यूआई इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ होगा, बट जो जीमेल 10 साल पहले था अभी भी सेम जीमेल है. चैट जीपीटी जो 3 साल पहले था उसके एटलीस्ट 10 वर्जन आ चुके हैं. क्लॉड का जो फर्स्ट वर्जन था और जो आपका वर्जन है, there is like 100 story level difference between the two, right? But the underlying, the thing that they're using remains the same. And this is what we'll see, ki these AI tools, what we call AI tools like ChatGPT and all, these will keep changing at least for next 3 to 4 years because AI is still an emerging field. But the AI which is running it will not change. So इसलिए important है for us to understand कि AI actually है क्या. And one of the big things which I find out when I talk to people about AI is this question. So just let me know in the chat, how many of you think, AI is computer code? Just say true or false. You can just write T or F in the chat. I just want to see your thought process about this. How many of you think AI is code? And when I say AI, I'm talking specifically about AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. And how many of you think it is not code? Okay, I can see a lot of yeses. Anybody for no? I can see one false, couple of false as well. Okay, so let me clarify this thing to you. AI, which we call as like these deep neural networks or neural networks, this is not code. So if you look at bare bone AI is not code. It is just a bunch of numbers sitting in a file, right? And I'll show you what those numbers are. But to talk to AI, to train an AI, we have to write code. But AI per se is not code. Okay, that is the fundamental thing we have to understand. Ki before ChatGPT, all the applications that you would have ever used were code. They were like somebody thought ki, array, let me build something like this because people will use it, right? So what did they do? They wrote out their idea in English, gave it to a person who understands English as well as the languages that computers speak, which is like Python, C++, Java, HTML, CSS. And this person, who we call a software developer, basically translated whatever we wanted computer to do from English to a language that computer can understand. ठीक है? तो पहले हम सॉफ्टवेयर कैसे बनाते थे? मेरे पास आइडिया होगा, मैं उसे इंग्लिश में लिख दूंगा, I will give it to a developer, developer मेरा डॉक्यूमेंट पढ़ेगा, and then they will develop a software which is basically like a translator job, कि जो भी इंग्लिश में दिया है उसको पाइथन में या कोई लैंग्वेज में लिख दो जो कंप्यूटर समझता है, and then computer will do that work. But now that is not the case. Now we are in the era of AI. So now in the era of AI, two things have happened. One, code लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है AI से बात करने के लिए because AI is not code. Second thing is, if you want to write some code, you can tell AI को English समझ में आती है अब, and it will write code for you, right? So that is a very fascinating thing which has happened. So after that, do we know what this is? I'm sure all of us are familiar with this. This is what a human neuron looks like, right? And the reason I'm showing this to you is to understand AI, we need to understand how human brain works, right? Especially how a human neuron works. क्योंकि अगर आप जाके देखेंगे AI के जो जैसे कि जो CEO of Anthropic है, he is a psychologist, right? Jeffrey Hinton, who got Nobel Prize for creating this technology, he wanted to understand how human brain works. When he started out, he was not a computer scientist. His interest was कि I want to understand कि human brain, how does it work? And he ended up creating a digital human brain. That's a different thing, right? But this is what a human neuron looks like, and this is what inspired artificial intelligence that we see today. जो 4-5 साल पुराने वाला AI था and all, those were different kind of AIs. लेकिन आज जो हम AI देख रहे हैं, that is inspired by this, which is a human neuron. So how human neuron works is ये जो cell है, basically it is connected to other cells at these tentacle kind of things that you are seeing. तो वहां से सिग्नल आता है. तो जो सिग्नल आता है, यहाँ पे पूरा कंप्यूटेशन होता है, एंड देन यहाँ से वो सिग्नल प्रोसेस होके दूसरे सेल्स को चला जाता है. And that is how human brain works. 1950s में, when there was lot of development in the medicine field, people discovered this. 1940s, 1950s में, and that was the time when people created first digital neuron. So अगर हम इसको एक mathematical equation में डालें, तो that mathematical equation looks something like this. कि यहाँ से signals आ रहे हैं, यहाँ पे थोड़ी calculation हो रही है, यहाँ पे हम सबका टोटल कर रहे हैं, फिर थोड़ी और कैलकुलेशन हो रही है और फिर सिग्नल बाहर जा रहा है. सो ये जो एक्चुअल न्यूरॉन था, अगर हम उसको कंप्यूटर में सिमुलेट करेंगे, सो दिस इज हाउ वी सिमुलेट दैट न्यूरॉन. ये जो न्यूरॉन है, दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल एज अ डिजिटल न्यूरॉन. जो डिजिटल न्यूरॉन होता है, दैट इज इंस्पायर्ड बाय बायोलॉजी, बट एक चीज व्हिच वी हैव टू कीप इन माइंड इज इट इज नॉट एज कॉम्प्लेक्स एज अ ह्यूमन न्यूरॉन, बट it works on the same principle. तो now imagine this कि अगर आप ये जो एक न्यूरॉन है, अगर ऐसे 10,000 न्यूरॉन लें और उसको डिजिटली कंप्यूटर में सिमुलेट करें और उनको एक साथ ज्वाइन कर दें, सो इट काइंड ऑफ बिकम्स लाइक कि आपने 10 न्यूरॉन्स को लिया और उनको ज्वाइन कर दिया. तो अभी जैसे हम बात करते हैं चैट जीपीटी, जेमिनाई, इन AIs में there are around 500 billion of these neurons जो हम सिमुलेट करते हैं कंप्यूटर में, और फिर ये जो न्यूरॉन्स जो आउटपुट होता है, उससे हम रेस्पॉन्स जनरेट करके दिखाते हैं, राइट? सो वन थिंग दैट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इज दिस पार्ट, राइट? कि डीप लर्निंग जो है, डीप लर्निंग द टेक्नोलॉजी which is basically what you use for chat GPT and all, this is not inspired by logic, जैसे कि पुराने जमाने में सॉफ्टवेयर हुआ करते थे. These are inspired by biology, right? तो अब अगर आप किसी डॉक्टर से पूछेंगे कि do you know how a human neuron works, they'll be like कि we don't know how a human neuron works, but हमें पता है कि what is a human neuron and like how does it function. Similarly, we don't know how a digital neuron works, but we know how it functions. Okay? So that is why this AI totally took the world by storm, क्योंकि this is a completely new paradigm. ऐसी कोई चीज हमने पहले कभी देखी ही नहीं थी. This is literally like we are giving a brain to computer. और अगर आप अभी जो डिस्कशन देखेंगे जो हो रहा है लास्ट 1 month में, one of the active discussion that is happening in AI industry is, one, all these companies are hiring psychologists now. They're not hiring computer scientists. So for example, Anthropic has hired a psychologist recently to train their AI. Anthropic has also reached out to Pope and Vatican कि ये जो हमारा AI है, this is becoming so advanced that it is becoming like humans. So we want to teach it ways to think. So they are reaching out to all the religious leaders to understand कि how can they make AI things, with ethics and morals and values. So that is where we are in this journey right now. And if you want to see more similarities, right? The above one is an X-ray of a human neocortex. So all these tentacles you are seeing, these are all neurons which are connected together. अगर आप नीचे वाला इमेज देखेंगे, so this is what an artificial neural network looks like. तो ये जो एक डॉट है, ये एक ये वाला इक्वेशन है, राइट? और इनको हम जैसे न्यूरल नेटवर्क कनेक्ट होता है ह्यूमन ब्रेन में, सिमिलर तरीके से कनेक्ट कर देते हैं. और ये आपको जो बीच में दिख रहा है हिडन लेयर्स, इसमें सारा मैजिक होता है. And we don't know how exactly this thing works, but इसमें मैजिक होता है, right? And another thing about AI जो बहुत अलग है पुराने सॉफ्टवेयर से, it is that it evolves over time. Now let me explain कि what do I mean by that. ये जो हम AI यूज कर रहे हैं, GPT and all of this, जो इसका पहला वर्जन था, that only used to translate language. कि अगर आप उसको कुछ इंग्लिश में देंगे, it will translate to German. If you give it in German, you can translate to English or French or any other language. Then when people saw that this is working very good, then they were like, if it is working very good, that means this AI model understands how the world works. For example, just say one of the things that they found was if you ask it a question like, Michael Jordan plays fill in the blank, because it was an autocomplete thing pehle. So it will always put basketball. Now the thing is, Michael Jordan can play anything. If you don't have an understanding of the world, then Michael Jordan can play cricket, can play football. If you don't know who is Michael Jordan, he can play any sports you want. But somewhere AI knew that Michael Jordan is a very famous basketball player. Then people were like, Acha, so let's use this ability of AI. And then they taught AI how to reason through problems. So what happened was, if you give AI a complex problem, it can think through it, like how a scientist will think through it, right? Okay, if this is true, then this should also be true. So let me see if this is true. So if this is true, then this should be true. So it can create hypotheses, it can work through step-by-step solutions and all. That AI got created. This AI was called GPT-4o when it came out. And uske baad people started thinking ki if it can think through problem, so what will happen if I tell this AI ki main tere ko Google search ki ability de raha hu, I'm giving you ability to write files on my system, then what happens? And then people saw ki these AIs cannot just talk to us like ChatGPT does, but और सारे काम भी कर सकते हैं. For example, I can tell my AI agent कि मेरे रूम में स्मार्ट लाइट है, और चेक ऑनलाइन हर दिन चेक ऑनलाइन टाइम की व्हेन द सनसेट इज हैपनिंग, जब सनसेट हो रहा है आधे घंटे पहले टर्न ऑन माय लाइट. सो इट विल गो ऑनलाइन, चेक की सनसेट टाइम क्या है एवरी डे, एंड देन सेट माय लैम्प टू कम ऑनलाइन हाफ एन आवर बिफोर सनसेट. इट कैन डू दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स आल्सो. देन पीपल वर लाइक कि अगर ये सब चीजें कर रहा है तो इसका मतलब वी कैन ट्रीट इट लाइक एन एम्प्लॉय, कि वी कैन जस्ट गिव इट टास्क and we can tell it ki you can do online search, you can write documents, you can do this, and it will do the task just like how normal people do. And that is what we call as agents, right? So from autocomplete, which was when ChatGPT has launched, the AI has learned that. So it was like just fill in the blanks, right? जब ChatGPT launch हुआ था, it was just an AI which could do fill in the blanks. उसके बाद it started to learn how to reason through problems. उसके started to learn कि अगर मुझे कोई tools दो तुम, when I say tool, it is like Google search, Microsoft Word, Photoshop, ये सब, कि then it can start using tools, and now it can basically act like a digital employee, 100% digital employee, which is the surprising part. Now people are saying कि जो next step होगा, that is what we call as AGI or super intelligence. दो चीजें हैं. AGI means artificial general intelligence, which means ki anything which a human of an IQ 100 can do, AI will be able to do all the same knowledge work. Okay, ki average human IQ is 100, so whatever an average human IQ person can do, AI will be able to do it. Okay, that is AGI. That is what OpenAI ka goal hai. If you look at other companies, their goal is to build super intelligence. What super intelligence means is, it is not going to know everything about the world, जिसे ChatGPT करता है, but let's say it will only know about the medical world. So it will have super intelligence about medicine. Similarly, there will be another AI which will have super intelligence about maths, right? So दो चीजें people develop कर रहे हैं अभी. एक है artificial general intelligence और एक है basically this super intelligence. Okay, whether ये दोनों चीजें possible है कि नहीं है, we don't know, right? Only time will tell. बट ये नेक्स्ट 1 साल में भी बन सकता है, नेक्स्ट 10 साल में भी बन सकता है. वी हैव नो आइडिया, बट ऑल द इंडिकेटर्स आर कि अगले 2 से 3 साल में तो मोस्ट प्रोबेबली वी आर गोइंग टू हैव सुपर इंटेलिजेंस. ओके, इवन इफ एजीआई नहीं होगा. एंड जो एआईज हैं वो बहुत तरीके के होते हैं. तो यू वुड हैव ओनली सीन चैट जीपीटी, कि चैट जीपीटी में व्हेन यू गिव टेक्स्ट एज इनपुट, यू गेट टेक्स्ट एज आउटपुट. Now ChatGPT can also do text to image, but original ChatGPT could only do text to text. Similarly, Midjourney, you can give it any text and it can generate images. So all the images in this presentation are created using Midjourney. right? So for example, if I just tell it a prompt, baby and baby robot playing together, cinematic photography, it will generate this photo for me. Then there are models like Sora, Veo, Kling, and Runway, जिनको आप text में prompt दो and it will generate a video for you. This video is AI generated, 100% AI generated. This place does not exist, right? But this video looks so real. Another thing is, we see these wave simulation. So any computer scientist will tell you that fluid simulation is one of the most difficult problem in computer science. And this AI has learned to do fluid simulation just like that, right? That is how capable these AIs are. Then I showed you 11 labs. So 11 labs can turn text to audio. And now we have multimodal AIs. So what multimodal AI means, they can understand text, they can also understand images, and in some cases they also understand voice. So ye jo hai, what you're seeing on the right, this is something that OpenAI had shown in their demo when they released the first multimodal model. So what they did was they took a photo of a fridge and uploaded it on ChatGPT and asked, what can I cook with what I have in my fridge? So what happens is, it is not like कि जो AI है वो चीजें एक्सट्रैक्ट कर रहा है इमेजेस से, उसको ये भी पता है कि ये ऑब्जेक्ट्स के बीच में रिलेशनशिप क्या है. तो फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ यू गिव इट अ फ्लो चार्ट, it understands it's a flow chart, right? So you're discussing a concept there. Similarly, if you've shared a fridge ka image, so it knows ki, okay, what I'm looking at is inside of a fridge. So it knows, what is carrot, what are tomatoes, what are mushrooms, all of this. And looking at it, it'll know ki these things are available. So it will give you recipes which you can make based on just the ingredients in your fridge. Okay? You don't even have to tell AI ki mere paas ye sab cheezein hain. Just take a photo and put it on, and AI will understand कि okay, ये सब चीजें available है मेरे पास, right? Similarly, this was one of the other examples that they had shown. कि this is the traffic sign, and let's say we are new to this country, so we have no idea कि what this is. So I can just take a photo, upload it, and say, can I park here right now? It's 10:30 a.m. on a Monday. और AI ये पढ़ के हमें बता देगा कि whether it is the right thing to do or not. So ये जो multimodal AI है, that is very powerful. Again, another use case is X-rays, right? You can upload an X-ray and just ask, hey, this is my X-ray. Can you tell me if I have an issue? So यहाँ पे, that is all I have done. Uploaded an X-ray and said, is this serious? And it is able to predict कि यहाँ पे क्या issues हैं, right? So we can see the X-ray shows the foot in the near the area of fifth finger. The clear line shows the bone near its base. This can look like a fracture line. तो उसको पूरा पता है कि X-ray में क्या-क्या चीजें हैं. So it can read X-rays also. Okay? It can read technical diagrams also. It can read pretty much anything you want. So, and the thing is, right, nowadays, another way that we are doing software development is कि we sit down and create a flow chart. कि if this happens तो ये होना चाहिए, अगर ये हुआ तो ये होना चाहिए, ये हुआ तो ये होना चाहिए. And then we take a screenshot of the diagram and give it to an AI, and then AI can create code from it, right? So this multimodal AI is very powerful because it is pretty much like now AI can speak, AI can hear, AI can see, and AI can think because thinking happens in words, right? So now we are at a stage which almost looks like science fiction. You can pretty much do anything to anything. Text to image, image to text, image to image, image to video, video to image, video to text, सब चीज possible है. People have reached a stage where you can even do like, you tell me the title of the TV show and AI can generate the entire TV show with seasons and episodes for you, right? The AI can write books for you with you as the main character, right? So बहुत सारी चीजें people are exploring, and I wanted to show you 3 specific things to you. So generally these are demos because these are very new. Okay? So let me show you some of them. We'll start with Google Co-Scientist. So Google Co-Scientist is an AI which basically there's a paper for this. If you're interested, you can go and check out this paper. On the right hand side, you can see AI Co-Scientist paper. It came out in February of last year. This is basically kind of like a lab partner. कि अगर आपको कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है तो बेसिकली एक डिजिटल लैब पार्टनर है जो आपके साथ हाइपोथेसिस ब्रेनस्टॉर्म कर सकता है, नई हाइपोथेसिस डिजाइन कर सकता है, from the new hypothesis, it can design, experiments to test or disprove a hypothesis, and then even conduct those tests for you, right? If you want, you will have this link. You can look into it more. If possible, also send in a request to Google to let you use it. क्योंकि ये जो है ये अभी public के लिए available नहीं है. This is only available for researchers and for research work as of right now, right? And this came out in Feb of last year. And इसके reviews are phenomenal. People are like कि जो research करने में लोगों को 1.5 years लगे, this AI is able to do the same research in matter of days, right? Not even months. That is how powerful this AI is. Other AI that I think is quite significant is the new one that Google has launched. This is called Learn Your Way, right? And you can see this came out in September 16 of 2025. So education में सबसे बड़ा problem ये है कि one, especially in a country like India, generally textbooks are in English, but for all of us, it is a second language, right? Second thing is, for example, let's say if I am interested in basketball, and if someone teaches me, let's say 10th standard, 11th standard physics with basketball examples, so my retention is going to be the best one, right? So now the thing is, you can have personalized book for each and every student. Give it a textbook, give it what are the interests of your students, and it will create a multimedia textbook for that particular student. Let's say there's a student who's interested in basketball. We give it like Newton's laws of motion. It will teach Newton's laws of motion to the student using examples of basketball, right? Not just that, but it can also create podcasts. It can also create slides so that, we can look at it and understand. And it can also complete entire videos explaining topics, and it can also create quizzes. Right? Again, this is not open to everyone. If you want to use this, you'll have to reach out to Google and ask for their permission and tell them ki, hey, I'm a teacher. Can you please, give me access to this? And then they will share the access with you. But these are the AIs which are in the market right now, right? Which is pretty fascinating. एक और जो है, I want to show you is this Genesis physics engine. तो अगर आपको लगता है कि, we are just generating text to text, let's have a look at this video, right? I will share my screen again because this is a YouTube video, so you'll need to hear audio as well. So just give me a minute. Okay, so this is Genesis engine. What Genesis does is कि अगर आपको कोई भी उस prompt से एक 4D virtual world बनाता है, and then you can run experiments in it. So what people are doing right now is they're using tools like Genesis. They create scenarios and then they train their robots in it. फिर जब वो robot सीख जाता है, for example, let's say you are taking a humanoid robot and teaching it to walk. If you teach this robot to walk in real life, every time it falls, there will be damage to the robot and you will have to replace it, right? But using Genesis, you can train the same bot in a virtual environment, let it run, and take that learning and then put it in a real robot later on. So let me show you what Genesis does, right? And this is an open source software. This is what it does. Let's see like this 3-minute video, maybe 1.5 minutes video, we will see. So basically here they are typing a water droplet drops onto a beer bottle and then slowly slides down along the bottle surface. अगर आप ये वाला prompt Genesis को देते हैं, this is what it generates. And this is not a video. This is a full-fledged 4D simulation, 3 dimensions. So let's look at these. So यहाँ पे they are saying camera revolves around the bottle while gradually moving downwards. A close-up shot from above tracking the motion of the droplet. Camera is positioned on the right side and the scene tracks the water droplet. And this is what it takes. Same simulation captured from 3 different angles. Right? Visualize all the forces applied on the droplet and their velocity. now to show you kitna velocity is, kitna force and everything on the same droplet, not like right? Camera zoom in and shifts to microscopic mode, revealing the underlying molecule. Each trail is one molecule. This is a close-up of the molecule, right? एक molecule दिख रहा है. You can see surface tension in a virtual environment. It's possible, and we can simulate all of this with AI. Right? Not just that, but अगर आपको liquid simulations करने हैं, viscous simulations करने हैं, things falling apart, things like water falling down, any simulation you want to do, it can be done. And all of this is being done using AI. Right? And we can see like how physically accurate these things are. Right? So this is what Genesis is. So if you see, we have like text to lab partner, we have like text to simulation in 4-dimension worlds, text to personalized learning experience. So these things are like, there is no stopping for AI right now. This thing is only going to keep escalating. And this is the thing which I want to bring to it, and something, that we have to think about. Key AI in its form started somewhere in 1950s with, Alan Turing, when he started talking about machine intelligence. And in 80 years, we are somewhere here where, basically AI can do almost 50% of the things that humans can do. And within next 5 years, within next 10 years, within next 20 years, most likely within next 5 to 10 years, right? AI is going to have more intelligence than humans do. Now, that is going to be a very different world that we are going to live in, right? Why? See, we call ourselves Homo sapiens. If you see the meaning of Homo sapien, it literally means the intelligent ones, because we are the most intelligent species on this planet. But we never had to share this planet with anything which was more intelligent than us. And within next decade, we will be in a situation where we have an entity which is smarter than us. What kind of societal changes, what kind of political, economical changes it is going to bring, we have no idea about. Because this situation has never happened in our entire evolutionary history, right? And that is one of the reasons why it becomes very important for us to also think, hey, how is generative AI going to impact me in next 5 years? And that's why I start using these tools and try to get an understanding of these tools. And people are asking these questions now. Agar AI need doctors, will we still need developers? Will we still need teachers? Will we still need lawyers? Will we still need CEOs, right? The short answer is yes, right? But the long answer, in short term, people who are not able to adopt to AI, we will see a lot of pain coming in that form, right? In long term, we will need more doctors, more developers, more lawyers, more CEOs, more teachers. But these people will be using AI. It will not be like कि AI replace कर देगा सबको. But जो लोग AI use कर रहे हैं, वो लोग 10-10 लोगों का काम अकेले कर पाएंगे. So obviously companies जो हैं, institutes जो हैं, they will prefer people who can use AI as against people who cannot use AI. So another analogy I like to give is kind of like this. अगर हम AI use नहीं कर रहे हैं, then we are kind of like the manual labor, which are like digging a pit. When we are using AI, it is kind of like digging the same pit, but with JCB, right? So what would have taken months, we can do the same thing in days. So will human roles exist? They will definitely exist. Developers will need more of, doctors will need more of, everybody will need more of, but they will be using AI. So we will have AI doctors, AI developers, AI lawyers, AI CEOs, AI teachers, right? But these will be humans who can use AI. And another thing is, okay, these all are the limitations. So, but what is that human thing which will basically help us thrive in this AI world, right? So one thing that has become very important in the AI world is the domain knowledge. And all of us are domain experts in our field, right? जो भी हम call में हैं, हमारे field में, हमारे subject में, we are the experts. So we have domain knowledge. and this is something that we need to leverage on. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर हमारे पास domain knowledge है, then we know what to ask AI कि okay, if I know marketing, I know what needs to be done in marketing, right? जिसको कोई भी idea नहीं है marketing का, that person will not be able to tell AI what needs to be done. Agar we are experts in our own field, then we can formulate the problem in a manner that AI can understand it. Because the how AI works is basically AI cannot do complex problems. AI can do simple problems, but we have frameworks to divide complex problems into simple problems, right? So that is what domain experts come in. And another thing that I have been telling you is कि AI को context देना होता है. For example, even if we are saying कि explain quantum physics to me, I have to tell it कि okay, this is my background. तो अगर आप domain experts हैं तो आप बहुत अच्छे से context provide कर सकते हैं AI को. Another thing is you would have seen this in many places कि always evaluate AI's result. अगर आप domain expert नहीं हैं उस field में, so there is no way you can evaluate that result, right? So domain experts have a big role to play. More AI adoption increases, more AI becomes advanced. Domain experts are going to play a very big role. That being said, currently there are two thought processes in the world. One is like AI will take over all the jobs, right? Humanity is doomed. पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है, AI सब कुछ करेगा. Another school of thought is that AI is just a fad. अभी trend में है. Maybe 2-3 साल के बाद people will realize कि AI is not good enough and it will go away. Both of these are wrong, right? If you have used AI for certain times, you will realize AI performs best when it is working with a human. So now we call human as the human co-pilot, and we call as AI as the AI co-pilot. So just like how a fighter plane needs two pilots to work, when both of them are working together, the human co-pilot and the AI co-pilot, it is literally like you get superpowers, because human alone would have taken 3 months to do the job. AI would have done a very substandard job. But if you mix human and AI together, human knowledge and AI knowledge, then within 3 days, maybe you can produce a very good output, right? So that's why the sweet spot is when humans are using AI, not really autonomy. Autonomy is required. वो दूसरे use case हैं, that's a different thing. But ये जो generative AI है, to get the most out of this generative AI, we have to pair this generative AI with a human to get the most out of it. So that was the core of this. After this, I'll do a demo. But the key message that I want you to take away from this is don't think of AI like a tool, right? Think of it like a colleague. So for example, when a colleague makes mistake, right, you give them feedback. If a colleague keeps repeating the same mistake, we mentor them, right? Ki, don't do this, do it this way. If this is not working, do it this way, so on and so forth. So जब हम chat करते हैं AI से, so in that chat, AI learns from the past interactions. So when AI gives a wrong response, we give it a feedback. Hey, this is wrong, and this is why it is wrong. You should have done this. That will realize, okay, yeah, I made a mistake. I'll fix it. So next time it will not make that mistake again, right? Then again, let's say AI did something in a totally different manner. You want it to do in a different way. So हम उसको mentor करेंगे कि what you have done is right, but not for this audience. इस audience के लिए ऐसे करना है. And then we have to co-create. So generally when we think of AI, we think कि या तो last में use करेंगे कि research paper पूरा लिखवा देते हैं इससे, right? या फिर हम पूरा का पूरा काम उसको outsource करने की कोशिश करते हैं. But to get the most about AI, it is kind of like a collaboration, right? It is not just like we can outsource the work completely. So message here is don't think of AI like a tool. That can be the biggest mistake you're making. Think of it like a colleague. Treat it like a colleague and see whether quality of your responses go up or not. That is, I would say, the simplest advice I can give you. And I will demonstrate it also later on. So let me quickly show you a couple of demos that I had planned for you. So I have one more slide. So I wanted to specifically show these 3 tools to you: Perplexity, Manus, and GenSpark, right? Because you would not have seen these tools, or you might not have heard of them before. Again, all 3 of them are paid because these are very powerful tools, but we can use them in free capacity to a very good extent. So let's start with Perplexity. Okay, are there any questions? Please do let me know before we go ahead. Otherwise, we can start with Perplexity. So ये जो perplexity है, you can use this perplexity by going to perplexity.ai. So perplexity जो है, even though it looks very similar to what ChatGPT looks like, they have a very different goal. Perplexity का goal है कि they want to create an alternative to Google. तो जब हम Google पे जाते हैं, and if I search for anything, right, which are the top 10 books in generative AI. So previously what used to happen was we used to get these responses. So agar, if I want an answer for this, what will I do? I will go read these 3-4 articles. Then I will make notes ki acha, these 3 books seems very relevant to me. Now with generative AI, what has happened is we can directly get an answer, just like how Google gives us now. Ki which are the top 10 books in generative AI? Yahan pe hi answer aa gaya hai. I don't even have to go and look into these things. Something similar is what Perplexity does. So if I ask it a question, what are top 10 books in generative AI, and hit enter, it will never try to give me an answer based on its understanding. It will also always do an online research, right? So what did it do? It did something similar to what I did before. It went, looked online, saw that, it got a lot of search results. Then it did another search for me. So the first one was, top 10 books in generative AI. Then it did another search. It went and read these book pages, right? कि ये जो 2 pages हैं, इनको जाके पढ़ा उसने. And then the AI decided कि okay, now I have enough information to basically answer the user's question. And then it writes the answer. So if you see, here are 10 widely recommended books to learn and stay current in generative AI. And these are the books it is recommending. Not just that, unlike ChatGPT, what Perplexity does is it always gives you citation. So you can actually go and see exactly where is this information coming from. So you can just validate the information right here. Okay. So this is what Perplexity is. So Perplexity, think of Perplexity like the new Google. Okay. Just like how we use Google to find information online, Perplexity can be used to find information online. Now, one of the things specifically for us, right? When I mean us, I mean academicians and people who are like teaching. The thing is, sometimes we might want to only use academic research to formulate an answer, because online information can be wrong, right? कि हो सकता है किसी ने कोई blog article लिखा है, उसमें गलत information है, या फिर maybe हम research कर रहे हैं तो हमारे को सिर्फ academic articles ही चाहिए. So Perplexity has a very good feature for it. तो अगर आप देखेंगे in this UI, on top you can see there is discover, finance, health and academics and patents, right? So if you select the academic option, so now you will see it says, explore academic papers, journals and more. So when you are in Perplexity Academic, it will only look at research papers from journals to answer a question. Okay. So for example, if I ask the same question here, which are the top 10 books in generative AI, let's see what happens. So here it is searching the web, right? Same thing that it did previously. But this is going to be much more in line with research. So we can see it went and found O'Reilly link, right? Which is more relevant to us. Similarly, now the links that we are going to get are either coming from researchers themselves, or they are coming from academic textbooks, or they are coming from research papers. So this is not a very good topic for research papers. So what I will do is I'll create a new topic, go to academics, and I will choose this as my topic. Does social media impact teenage mental health? All right. How does social media impact teenage mental health? Right. I will do search, right? Maybe should I choose technology? No. So how does social media impact teenage mental health? So we can see looking for current research on social media and teenage mental health. So we can see it is looking directly for research. We did not have to tell it explicitly or do anything. And if we go and see these links also, We can see this link is from National Library of Medicine, right? Relevant link. We can also see what are the other links that it has looked from, right? So National Library again, Yale Medicine, right? Hopkins Medicine, Pew Research, CNN, Mayo Clinic. So all of them are relevant sources, for your academic articles. So for academics, Perplexity is one of the best tools you can use. Especially this one feature that I was showing you. You can go to academics and then search for things, right? Again, like I said, Perplexity is a paid tool. So if I show you the pricing plan, generally it is $34. Generally it is $17 per month, but we can use it for free. I have a free version. I'm not using the paid version, right? And we can use it in a limited capacity. Another great feature that Perplexity has is the discover feature. And this is the feature which I personally use the most of Perplexity. So one of the main things that has happened right now is that all the newspapers and magazines have also become very, one dimensional. They choose like a political ideology or a technology ideology and they stick to it. So they only cover one side of the story. They don't cover the other side of the story at all. What Perplexity does is it will read news on all the topics related to that particular field and then create a news article for you, which will be much more rounded article, right? So if we see, like Sam Altman says, India has surpassed 1 billion images. So if we go and see this article, we can see that, this AI has read 4 different news articles before it has created this article for us, right? There are three more sources. So we can get very well-rounded news from Perplexity. And generally, they also have an app. And more you use this app, more Perplexity learns what are your topics you're interested in. Then it can even send you notifications, okay, this might be a news that you're interested in, right? So that is what Perplexity does. And the thing is, none of the features that I have talked to you about are there in ChatGPT. They don't exist. Perplexity is the only tool where you have these kind of tools. ChatGPT has some other tools, some other things, but these tools do not exist there. Okay, so this was one thing, right? कि Perplexity जो है, on surface it might look like ChatGPT itself, but it works in a very different way. So what we can do for academics specifically, you can go to the academic section and just search in the academic journals and academic papers. Okay. Another thing where we can use Perplexity is the discover feature. This will help us find news relevant to our topic, relevant to our industry, our research interest, and give us a very comprehensive overview of it. Not just articles, but like a very rounded article on it. Okay, so do check it out. And another thing is the discover feature, and I think pretty much it in the free version it is pretty limited. But for this discover feature and academic feature, it can be a very good tool. Another tool that I want to show you is the one we call Manus, right? So these are what are called as super agents. So what do we mean by agent? So agent is something like ChatGPT. कि अगर आप उसको कोई टास्क करने को देंगे तो वो टास्क पूरा करके हमें दे देता है, राइट? सुपर एजेंट क्या करते हैं? वो नॉट जस्ट लाइक वन पार्ट ऑफ द टास्क, बट वो पूरा का पूरा टास्क खत्म करके देगा आपको. अगेन जो मानुस है, it is a premium feature. It's a very costly app, right? If we look at the pricing somewhere, yeah. So if we look at the pricing again, $17 per month, but they have like the higher tiers also. If we go for monthly, it is $20. But the free version hai, in the free version, we can do one task per day, right? And this can be any task. If you want to build a website, if you want to create a slide, if you want to build a desktop application, if you want to do a design. Somebody has asked this question about flyer, right? So this is one tool which can help you build flyers. Again, other than that, it can help you create videos, develop apps, and a lot of other things. So let me show you a quick example, right, of how this works. So can you create a simple one-page website uh, which is interactive and looks cool as my resume page or as my profile page. I'll share my uh, LinkedIn profile with you, right? So I'm just taking a simple task for it to do to show you like what it can actually do. So what I'm saying is, can you create a simple one-page website which is interactive and looks cool on my profile page as my profile page? I'll share my LinkedIn profile with you. So now I can go to LinkedIn.
Yes, sir.
So LinkedIn generally gives us an option to download our profile.
हाँ 5-10 मिनट का अपन 1.5 घंटे के बाद ब्रेक ले
So
लेंगे
let's give it some more time. Save as PDF.
अभी वैसे अपने पास लिस्ट
So I have my profile as a PDF now.
आज का पहला दिन है तो हमने देखा तो कुछ
So
का कैंसिल
I'll attach it
तो 1:30 तक है पार्टिसिपेंट्स
and I will send. Now let's see what Manas does.
फर्स्ट सेशन जी सर
So in the background, what is happening is Manas is turning on its own computer. Okay, a virtual computer somewhere. We can see what Manas is doing here,
yes
but it is not working like ChatGPT, right? अगर हम देखेंगे,
हाँ
so it works in a very different manner. So it will say knowledge recall. It already has some information on how to make interesting websites, right? Then it went and read the content in the PDF, extract करके. उसके बाद now it is working on it. So, but the thing is, I have run out of credits because the free version, right? But let's see what it creates. So first, extract and analyze the LinkedIn text, and think about it this way कि अगर ये task मैंने किसी human को भी दिया होता, right? Let's say कि मेरे पास कोई intern है या फिर कोई colleague है मेरा who is very good at coding. If I would have given them this information, right? Can you create one-page website which is interactive and looks cool as my profile page? I'll share my LinkedIn profile with you. They will be able to do it क्योंकि उनको पता है. They have all the information they might need to build this application, right? So AI also has all the information to build this application, and that is what it is doing here. It is not just doing one step. It realized कि ये task पूरा करने के लिए the AI will need to do multiple steps. पहला स्टेप क्या है कि इसको जाके देखना पड़ेगा कि मेरी प्रोफाइल में क्या लिखा है. So that's what it did. So after it read, now it knows कि okay, what should be included in the website, what is the content and all. It has a good idea of. So now it is coding the website now, right? And we can see there are 3 tasks. So it is doing the second task right now, and it needed to generate some images also because website has to look good. So it is generating some AI images also. And we can see what is the thought process that AI has, right? So I have analyzed Anurag's LinkedIn profile and created a design strategy. I'm building a profile website using warm gradient storytelling, right? Design approach, a contemporary human-centered aesthetic that balances technical expertise with approachability. Right? Design highlights ये होंगे, and the design reflects Anurag's mission of making AI accessible and building community. Now generating custom visuals and building the website. So it can do this level of complex tasks now, right? Ki I gave it a PDF with my resume or my profile, just gave 2-line instruction that, you know, hey, I want a 1-page website. And then AI can actually go and work on it. And not just like one step, जो हमने ChatGPT में देखा है कि ChatGPT generally only does one step. This can do multiple steps at the same time. At a high level, it is doing 3 steps. But अगर हम देखें, so for example, it is generating images, right? It is generating multiple images, and it is doing it is thinking through it, and then it is editing again, then testing it, then editing again. So it is doing multiple things before it gives us a response. And it will take a longer time because it is still writing code. So we can see how much code it has actually written. So there are so many files it has created that we can see. It has written all of this code, downloaded all the necessary libraries, and then creating a website for us. So we'll give it 2 more minutes. I think we are almost at the end. In the meantime, if there are any questions or anything you want to discuss, I can take them. And the thing is, I am showing you an example of website because website is the most complex thing this can do. You can also ask it to create presentations. Again, you can also ask it to create posters. You can again ask it to create Word documents. You can also ask it to create research documents. Those all use cases exist. But it can also create websites for you. Yes, please, there's a question.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, can it make the topic it will polish क्योंकि that
Mhm.
every nice but it can get coordinate everything and it can get a organized either article or organize the form of presentation uh, to be produced before the students or the presentation and without intervening because otherwise what we have to do we have to get speech to text then again Gemini again get purify then verify then you get the citation and everything has to be processed but such kind of tools can be generated so that it if it run on that laptop it will work like a digital assistant we just interact with it and it gives the result.
Yes, sir. I will show that tool to you, sir. Manus cannot do that, but Claude can.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate I finished the screen. So if you see, it is not like these are images. This is a full-fledged website, right? Just from the PDF which I had given to it. So like Anurag Kumar helping AI enthusiasts and technology leaders build with generative AI, founder at Prex Studio, so on and so forth, right? And look at the quality of this website. I mean, we talk about human verification, human validation, but all of that is not required now. This website is 100% working, right? It has put all the relevant links also. It needed to create a background image, right? This background image it created using AI. And then now I can just go and say, can you make it a little darker? Can you beautify it? And it will do all of those things for me. And it does the same thing with presentations also. So if you go and see, but the thing is, you can only do one task, unfortunately, in a day. Because if you remember, we have some daily credits, and once we use those daily credits, we cannot use this application anymore. But you will get some ideas from here, like of what are the other things it can do, right? Create slides, build websites, develop desktop apps, what we just did, design, right? And we can give it like as much information as we want. So for example, do they have some demos? Okay, they don't have demos, but you can check it out. And I'm sure when you look online, you will find like what people are building with applications like this. Especially Manus. Manus became so popular that Facebook actually purchased it quite recently. It has been less than 6 months, if I'm not wrong. It happened somewhere around November and December, right? So that is how popular Manus is. And we have looked at Perplexity. I want to show you one more app, and then I will go to whatever what the server is asking that can we have a personal assistant on our system. But before that, there's one more application I want to cover. It is called GenSpark. Okay, again GenSpark, phenomenal company. They came out of nowhere, I think 2 or 3 years back, and they started using AI in a completely new way, right? And it is very similar to Manus. As you can see, it can create AI slides, AI sheets, AI documents, AI designs, AI chat, AI image, AI music, videos, meeting notes, and they have a lot more agents. Okay, so let me quickly show you the same example with this, right? Luckily, I have a pro subscription for this. Again, this is not free, uh, but like again, you can do one task in a day. But if you have a pro version, then you can do like a lot more. But even pro is limited. That is how costly AI is. So I will give it the same task. Can you create one slide profile from my LinkedIn profile? it should be minimalistic and look appealing, right? I'm not giving it a very complex prompt, and I will do the same thing. I'll upload my profile here, right? So that it knows what it needs to do, right? I was telling you there should be three things. Task, can you create a one slide profile from my, from task is, can you create a one slide profile for me, right? I'll be a little more clear. Can you create a one slide PPT profile from my LinkedIn profile? It should be minimalistic and looking appealing. So one, it knows it needs to create a profile. Two, context about me and who I am, that will come from the profile. And now only thing that I have not specified here is the role that AI should play, but I think AI is pretty clear on what it needs to do, so that I don't need to explicitly say it. Now I will hit enter. And just like how Manas worked, that it divided into a multi-step process and then it did each task one by one, GenSpark will also do something similar. So let's see what it does. So we can see agent at work, right? I'll create a minimalistic premium one slide profile presentation based on the LinkedIn PDF. Let me start by fetching and analyzing the source material. So सबसे पहले it saved my PDF in a folder, right? Because that's a good practice. Then it analyzed and extracted all the text from it. Then it saw that, hey, I had linked to Prex Studio, which is my company in it. So it is actually going and checking Prex Studio content also, so that, it can put all this information in a slide. And now, since it has all the information available, Abhi, it will create a slide. So let's give it another 2 minutes and see what kind of slides it can create. I would recommend that since you might not have a GenSpark paid subscription, you can use Manas. Unfortunately, one of the limitations of GenSpark presentation is we cannot download it if we don't have pro subscription. We can create websites and all, but unfortunately presentations cannot be downloaded. But in Manas, you can download presentation. So that is something you can explore. But if you're looking for ideas on how to present, generate some ideas and sample presentations, then you can use this. And definitely you can take screenshot of those slides, right? So let's see, it should not take long because this is just one slide. And we can see how AI is building this. So generally what AI does is AI is very good at writing code. So for everything, it writes code. Right. On creating this, देखेंगे तो ये कोड है पूरा का पूरा जो AI ने लिखा है. और जब हम उसको स्लाइड में बनाएंगे तो it looks like this. So this is the slide. It has created that, right? And so I have tools today which basically can create such sophisticated slides for us. And I think the quality of this slide is very nice. It will take me, I think, some more time to actually download it on my system, but I can download this presentation on my system as well. Are there any questions? I can see a couple of hands raised.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर मेरा पॉइंट यही था, ओपन सोर्स मैंने इसीलिए लिखा था कि बहुत सारे सब्सक्रिप्शन है. मैं बेसिकली मतलब थोड़ा बहुत कंटेंट क्रिएशन में हूँ, तो मेरे पास 11 लैब या सुनो एआई या ग्रोक का भी सब्सक्रिप्शन है. वो इसीलिए लेना पड़ा कि ये स्टार्टिंग में तो जैसे आदत डाल देते हैं आपकी कि ना आप कंटेंट बना रहे हैं और अच्छा बना सकते हैं या लिमिट टोकन्स लेके ही बना सकते हैं. तो ये थोड़ा सा अभी डाइसी वाला सिचुएशन है कि सब्सक्रिप्शन तो लेना ही पड़ता है ले दे के, और वो भी बहुत ज्यादा है. जैसे कि जेमिनाई का तो सर मतलब कुछ भी 22,000 एक व्यक्ति के लिए इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट.
जी सर, जी सर,
मैं आपके ओपिनियन चाहता हूं, मतलब कब होगा या ओपन सोर्स कैसे कब आएंगे ऑप्शंस?
बिल्कुल सर. सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज जो एआई है, अभी जो एआई टूल्स हमें मिल रहे हैं, वी आर गेटिंग इट एट अ वेरी सब्सिडाइज्ड रेट. तो AI is a very costly technology. तो इसका जो cost है, it is not going to come down in the near future. But I will tell you what is happening in the industry right now. So last month, Google had released a new series of AI models called Gamma, GEMMA. So these models are so small and so powerful कि ये जो उनका मॉडल है, it can run on mobile phone also. मतलब अगर आपके मोबाइल में इंटरनेट नहीं है, तब भी ये मॉडल रन कर सकता है. तो विद इन फ्यू ईयर्स क्या होने वाला है कि अभी तो जैसे हम चैट जीपीटी पे जाके सर्च कर रहे हैं, claude.ai पे जाके सर्च कर रहे हैं, genspark.ai पे जाके सर्च कर रहे हैं, ये एआई हमारे को लैपटॉप में ही मिलेगा बिकॉज मॉडल्स आ चुके हैं. अब उनको बस लैपटॉप में इंटीग्रेशन करना बचा है. सो अगर आप नया लैपटॉप खरीद रहे हैं, डिले इट बाय 1 year. ठीक है, तो वन थिंग इज AI assistants are coming to laptop very soon, free of cost, right? And it is happening sooner than later क्योंकि models आ चुके हैं. First thing, तो that is one way this problem is going to get solved out. Now coming to the second problem कि कोई open source alternatives हैं क्या कि so that हमको subscription ना लेना पड़े and we can directly use the tool. उसी के लिए I was talking to you about Hugging Face. Obviously जो open source tools होंगे, they will not be as sophisticated as the paid tool, obviously because there's a team working on it day in and day out. But अगर आप Hugging Face में जाएंगे and look at spaces, just type your use case here, you will find some AI model or something that will basically do that work for you if you're looking for basically a free alternative. Other thing that you can do to run these models locally is there is this application called LM Studio. ये जो LM Studio है, अगर आप देखेंगे तो you can see what this application helps you do. Run AI models locally and privately. तो अगर आपका मोबाइल फोन और अगर आपका लैपटॉप is not connected to internet, right? Or if you don't want to use ChatGPT and all of these subscriptions, what you can do is you can install LM Studio and you can run these AI models locally also on your machine. But इसमें भी एक प्रॉब्लम होती है. ये प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जनरली ये जो AI मॉडल्स हैं, इनको बहुत अच्छे ग्राफिक कार्ड्स चाहिए होते हैं. एंड जनरली हमारे लैपटॉप में इतने अच्छे ग्राफिक कार्ड्स होते नहीं हैं, तो ये थोड़े स्लो चलते हैं. बट यू कैन रन इट. आई रन AI मॉडल्स लाइक दिस लोकली ऑन माई सिस्टम. और ये जो Gamma 3 मॉडल्स हैं, दे आर वेरी गुड. मतलब नॉट एज गुड एज ChatGPT और Gemini, बट दे आर गुड इनफ कि वो काफी सारी चीजें कर देते हैं. So this is something you can explore, sir, for running models locally on your system. And Hugging Face, ये जो दो चीजें हैं. Okay. So another thing is, let's go back to what we were doing. Then we can take more questions. तो ये presentation बनाया Genspark ने हमारे लिए. What we can also do is we can also export it. Export as PDF. And then we can edit it inside our PPT as well. अगर हमें कोई टेक्स्ट चेंज करना है, कोई इमेज डालनी है, तो वो चीजें भी हम कर सकते हैं. ओके, सो एनीवे ये एक्सपोर्ट हो जाता है. सो एज यू कैन सी, आई कैन डाउनलोड इट, आई कैन ओपन इट एंड इट इज हियर, राइट? एंड आई कैन चेंज इट. मे बी फॉन्ट थोड़ा खराब हुआ है, मे बी मेरे सिस्टम में सेम फॉन्ट नहीं है, बट आई कैन एडिट एंड ब्रिंग दोस थिंग्स आल्सो विद मी. एंड ये पूरा एडिटेबल है, सो आई कैन चेंज एनीथिंग आई वांट इन दिस. ओके, सो लुक्स लाइक देयर इज सम इशू हियर. सो नाउ we looked at Perplexity, we looked at Manus, we looked at Genspark, right? So Perplexity, think of it like कि this is Google का competitor. जो चीज़ आप Google पे करते हैं, सेम चीज़ Perplexity पे कर सकते हैं. गूगल पे 2 स्टेप्स होते हैं. पहले आप सर्च करते हैं, फिर जाके वेबसाइट पढ़ते हैं, फिर अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू बनाते हैं. Perplexity will directly give you the answer. Manus AI we looked at. Manus AI is specifically designed to do complex tasks. Like अगर आपको कोई स्लाइड्स बनाने हैं, वेबसाइट बनाना है, those kind of things. Genspark is a competitor to Manus. और इसमें भी बहुत सारी चीजें कर सकते हैं हम. Any lot of complex things, right? And one of the main features of Genspark that I really like is कि इनमें they have created a new feature which is called call for me, right? So call for me में basically how it works is, अगर मैं chat पे बोलता हूँ कि sorry, give me a second. राइट? सो अगर मैं इसको बोलता हूँ कि I want to find out when is the next AI session from Prex Studio Bangalore. So I'm just saying Prex Studio because this is my company, so that I have the phone right here. Can you call them and find out? Generally, this demo has certain issues क्योंकि बहुत नया feature है, but let me see if it works, right? मैंने ज्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं दी है एज यू कैन सी टू दिस एआई. आई हैव जस्ट टोल्ड कि हे आई वांट टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट आर द नेक्स्ट एआई सेशन फ्रॉम प्रेक स्टूडियो बैंगलोर. कैन यू कॉल देम एंड फाइंड आउट? सो नाउ एआई विल डू मल्टीपल स्टेप्स. सबसे पहले इट इज लाइक ओके मुझे फोन नंबर कहाँ से मिलेगा. जनरली सारे कंपनीज का फोन नंबर गूगल मैप्स पे होता है, तो इसने पहले गूगल मैप पे आके सर्च किया प्रेक स्टूडियो बैंगलोर एआई, राइट? देन इट गॉट द एड्रेस प्रेक स्टूडियो का. And then it is like, okay, I need to place a call. Number मुझे मिल गया है. I know their contact details. So if you give me explicit permission, कि I can call you on my behalf. That is what Genspark is saying here. Then I will call them and ask. So this is what I will do. Let it finish everything. I will click on this. So we can see phone number है. Purpose of the call है. कब कॉल करना है, शेड्यूल करना है कि नाउ. सो आई विल से कॉल नाउ सो आई कैन डेमो इट टू यू, राइट? कस्टम, व्हाट इज द फोन नंबर? फोन नंबर इट इज फाउंड देयर. सो लेट्स डू इट. सो आई कॉल, आई विल से फोन कॉल. सो लेट्स सी व्हाट इट डज. So now it is getting ready to make the call, right? So let's review this request. The user wants to use the contact Prex Studio in Bangalore to ask about an upcoming AI session, workshop or bootcamp. The phone number provided, standard Indian number, so on and so forth. No red flags regarding emergency or premium rates. Enough. So now we can see it is calling. So I'm getting a call from Genspark AI. You can see the name also, right? Hello, is anybody there?
Hello, I'm Finn, an AI assistant calling for Anurag to ask about your upcoming AI section for bootcamp.
We don't have anything scheduled right now, but we are planning to have one in the first week of next month.
Okay, what date in the first week?
Somewhere around 5th.
Roughly the 5th. Got it. What time is it planned for?
Mostly it is going to happen in the evening at somewhere around 7:30.
Okay, let me note that timing and the format next. Well, is it online or in person?
This is going to be online.
How do people register for it?
They can register for it on our website.
So, the 5th at 7:30 p.m. online, correct?
That's correct.
Anything else I should note for Anurag?
No, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Right? So, I mean, this is where AI is right now. As you can see, even the quality was actually quite good. It can still improve further, but it can get things done. That is where it is. And you can see it has given me a summary. I successfully contacted Prex Studio regarding their upcoming event. They are planning their next AI session for the first week of so and so, and it can work, right? So that is what it is. That is what Genspark is. Genspark has phenomenal features. That's why it was one of the first tools that I got a subscription to. So for example, Pro and Plus user unlimited code. Okay. So I can say like, can you create a poster for my upcoming event? Let's say schedule for, let's take the same one, right? 5th at 7:30 p.m. Let's say speaker, let's call it Rajat, right? Topic, Generative AI 101, right? Design eye-catching black with golden highlights. Text first, right? Uh, Include all the necessary details. Website, let's set Red Studio, right? And let's see what it does. Okay, it will take some time. We'll give it 1 minute. And this is the presentation it has generated, right? So other than that, for example, if I want to make any edits to this, right, I can just keep conversing with this AI. I can tell it, ki, "Arey, fix this. This is not looking nice. Can you fix this?" Just like how I talk to a designer. And in parallel, it will keep building this website. Okay. So these are the things that these tools can do. Today, I'm just showing you basic tools, but I think these basic tools are very powerful. One of the things that sir had asked was, can we not run any of these tools locally on our machine? So uske liye, we have to do one thing. If you want to run any of those tools, you have the best option that you can choose right now. If you want to run AI on your machine, let me be very clear about what I mean by AI running on your machine. What I mean by AI running on the machine is it can read, edit, create files on your system. AI is still with, like, the company. I have to send requests to that AI, but AI can change and modify things on my system. So for that, the AI that I would recommend is Claude, and they have a free version also, but not this Claude. Okay. So when I say Claude, there are different flavors of Claudes also. There are different flavors of Gemini also. There are different flavors of ChatGPT also. So Claude has a special kind of tool. So if you go to this website, on the left-hand side, at the bottom, you can see there is this download icon, right? In this download icon, you can see that there are a lot of other types of Claude as well. You can install Claude in your Excel sheet, in your PowerPoint, in your Word. The one I'm telling you about is this one, download for Windows. Okay. When you download it for Windows, basically you have a version of Claude running on your system. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay. So once I have installed it, it will look like this, Claude. So when I click on it, it starts in my system. We can see this is an application in my Windows. This is not a website, right? अभी ये जो Claude है, there are 3 different things inside Claude also. When we come back next time, I'll go in detail on this, but I will just show you the demo on what it is capable of. So we have chat, we have cowork, and we have code. Chat is the same thing. Chat is the same as what we have seen so far. Chat is this, what you're seeing in the website, and chat is like whatever we saw for GenSpark also. This is all chat, okay? So I'm not going to cover chat right now. We also have something called as cowork. And this cowork is what we want to look at. So this is what cowork does. Okay, let me show you. So यहाँ पे we will create a new folder. Okay, so let's call this folder web app, or let's say presentation. Okay. Now, what I will do first, I will tell this AI कि कौन से folder में काम करना है, which folder to work in. So I will choose, tell it कि you are only in the presentation folder. Okay. I don't want to give it any specific instruction. I don't want to add any files. So now this AI knows that it can work inside this folder. So if I tell it things like, can you create a 5-slide presentation titled Generative AI 101, introducing students to fundamentals of GenAI applications, right? I can specify what design it should use. I should specify what font it should use. I can specify who are my target audience. I can do all of it, right? But I'm giving a very simple prompt now. Can you create a 5-slide presentation titled Generative AI, introducing students to fundamentals of generative AI application, right? And I will say, and save it in the folder, just to be extra explicit. And I will hit enter. So now let's see what happens. On one side, I will have the AI running, and on the other side, I will open this folder. So it's thinking a lot, right? We can actually see like what it is thinking also. So the user wants a 5-slide presentation on generative AI 101. I need to use the PPT skill. So this is its internal thought process, right? Then it came back with some more questions. So it's like, what tone or style should the presentation have? I'll say bold and colorful, let's say. What levels are the students? So I told you, right? That was something I'm not specified here. So this bot is smart enough to cross question and get more information. So let's say graduates and professionals. So now it got more information. Now it is going to use the tools at its disposal to basically create this presentation, right? We can see the thinking. Now I need to read this file to understand how to create a presentation from scratch. Now I have the information I need. Let me create a plan for a 5-slide presentation, right? Slide plan, title slide, what generative AI is, how does it work, key application challenges and futures, right? Now I'm setting on a color scheme. So it is thinking through everything like how a person would think through, and they basically think by writing on paper. That is what AI is doing here, right? Building the presentation structure, writing the presentation setup, building the title slide, still writing presentation code, adding a distinction board, and it will keep working on this task for some time. So let's give it some time and see what it produces. So in parallel, this is going to take some time, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. So I want to start another exercise as well. So I will say same folder. Same folder was this one. Okay, I will create one more folder, let's say. So I'll call this web app. So I will tell it to open a new folder. And I will give it the same task. Can you create, let's say if Node.js website as my personal landing page, you have a PDF of my profile in the folder. So I'm not even going to attach it. I will just tell it it is there in the folder. I think this folder we don't want. Okay. So create a Node.js, or let me just say Node website as my personal landing page. You have a PDF of my profile in your folder. Which folder? The web app folder. So let's open it. And what I will do is I will just copy the profile that I had downloaded before into this folder. Okay. So can you create a Node website? Let me just say website. As my personal landing page, you have a PDF of my profile in the folder, and I will hit enter. So there are two things going on in parallel. So let's see the thought process. We'll see the output in some time, since we're already out of time, so I don't want to delay it unnecessarily. And I got, right? And then the response it got was there are no files. That is because I put it in a wrong folder. Let's put it in the right folder. It looks like the folder is currently empty. There are no PDFs there. Could you add your PDF to the web app folder on your desktop? I'll say just say done. So it can go and look for it again. So it will go and run the command again. It got the PDF this time. So it is reading the PDF. Got everything I need from your profile. Before I build, let me nail down the style. So it is going to come back and ask me a few questions and also make recommendations. So I'll say dark and modern. What's the primary goal of this landing page? Lead generation, community building, personal branding. Where did it get these ideas from? After reading my PDF, right? So we will say personal brand or credibility. So it created a task so that, it gives itself a task list. So that there is only one task right now, which is to build the landing page. So it is creating the landing page now. We can see this number keeps on going up as it creates more and more code. And it is thinking through this problem. So you can see it keeps on writing. Once it will finish writing, it will basically save this file here. So that is why I have the folder also open. So we can see it. So just to recap, we looked at four main applications today: GenSpark, Manus, Perplexity, and Claude. Perplexity is an alternate to Google. तो अगर आपको कोई भी ऑनलाइन सर्च करना है या फिर सर्च करके कुछ भी सिंथेसिस करना है, right, you can use Perplexity for it. GenSpark and Manus are what we call super agents. So super agents se we mean ki these are way more powerful than what ChatGPT does. ChatGPT does level 1 task. Manus and GenSpark can do like level 3, level 4 tasks as well. Claude, then we looked at. Claude is a very versatile software, right? So that's what we're saying. We can see it has created this file called index.html, right? I'll open that in a while, but so it's a very versatile software. It can run on your system. It can create files on your system. It can read your files. You can offload things to it. Will build this website for me. And it will build it for you on your system, right? So let's look at this website. So this is what it has created. Okay. And we have built very complex applications using this. This is a very, very simple thing that it can do. It can do a lot more complex things. Presentation is still being developed. So it can create presentations, it can create Word documents, it can create entire softwares, right? If I were to ask you, hey, can you build a software application where, I do XYZ, you would have seen it would have created 100, 200 files in this folder. And it follows best practices of software development. So even it looks very nice, right? The applications and everything looks very nice. Just like you can take this as an example, that it asks you, do you want a dark theme? We said yes. And then it has created all this for us. Not just that, but if you see, it has also linked to my LinkedIn, right? See what I built. So these are the things that I have worked on, and it has done a phenomenal job from the information that is available to it. From the information it is available to the chatbot. I think slide generation is also complete. So let's have a look at it. So slides also it has created for us. And these are the slides that it has generated. Okay. So I think this is a good place to end this session. I hope you got to learn something new, see some new capabilities of AI which you had not seen before. I wanted to show and tell so that The goal today was two-faced. One, that at least understand what Gen AI is, where it is going. Second part was look at the applications which you might not have heard of otherwise, right? And see how powerful these applications are. Because generally, when we think of AI, generally we think of ChatGPT as the only AI which is in the market. With ChatGPT is nowhere compared to the applications that we looked at today, right? And some of them were free, and some of them also run on our system. And this trend is going to continue. That AIs will be running on our desktop more and more, right? So I'll share this presentation, so you should be able to access it, no problem whatsoever.
Yes,
And,
sir, definitely. Sir, may I
and
ask you one question?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sir, that you're the founder of Trek Studio. So,
Yes, ma'am.
what exactly work you carried out at that particular place, and there you are using AI for which purposes?
So, ma'am, we are a generative AI studio. So
Yeah.
basically, we are building generative AI solutions end to end. So we do three things mainly. One thing is we consult with startups and small companies to build generative AI solutions for them. Second thing that we
Okay.
do is, in line with what our goal is, we do technical and non-technical trainings in generative AI, right? For people who are software engineers, to business leaders, to business analysts, everybody, right?
Yeah.
Third thing that we do is we build our own generative AI solutions in-house. So these are the
Okay.
three things we are doing. We are purely focused on generative AI.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It was excellent session, and it is a good start of our refresher course as well.
Thank
So,
you, ma'am.
friends, if you have any query, any question,
Excuse me,
you
sir.
can ask your queries.
Excuse me. I'm Dr. Arvinder from Punjabi University, Patiala, sir.
Ji, sir.
Uh, Let me show you. Yes. So, सर मैं अभी डॉक्टरेट भी AI based NLP में किया अपनी complete.
Ji, sir.
And now also working in this field of natural language processing. तो जैसे आपने काफ़ी कुछ आज बताया है, लेकिन मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि कोडिंग के लिए जैसे मैं चैट जीपीटी थोड़ा यूज़ करता हूँ थोड़ा, या एक जेमिनी, सो कोई और स्पेशल टूल इसके लिए कोडिंग बेसिकली थोड़ा टेक्निकल लेवल के लिए, जैसे
हाँ।
नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए एक चैटबॉट पंजाबी के लिए बनाने के बारे में।
अच्छा सर, अच्छा सर।
यस
जी सर, तो मैं आपको बताता हूँ क्विकली, अगर चाहिए तो वी कैन डिस्कस इट इन डिटेल, बट मैं आपको क्विकली दो चीजें बताता हूँ जो आप एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं। तो एक है, यू कैन सर्च फॉर दिस वेबसाइट कॉल्ड गूगल AI स्टूडियो। ठीक है सर। सो ये जो गूगल AI स्टूडियो है, दिस प्लेटफॉर्म इज डिजाइन ओनली फॉर बिल्डिंग AI एप्लीकेशन। तो अभी जैसे आप बोल रहे थे कि you want to build a chatbot for Punjabi, right? So for example, I can specify, मैं आपको डिटेल में बताऊंगा कि बेसिकली AI से सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप कैसे करते हैं, वो आई विल एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू लेटर, बट वी हैव टूल्स फॉर इट। एक तो है ये गूगल AI स्टूडियो। सो गूगल AI स्टूडियो में आप कुछ भी बिल्ड कर सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पे अगर आप बिल्ड में जाएंगे, तो यहाँ पे अगर आप अपना खुद का आइडिया बताते हैं, राइट? सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लेट्स से आई वांट टू बिल्ड अ chatbot that can answer questions about generative AI. तो ये हमारे को बिल्ड करके दे सकता है। द गुड थिंग अबाउट गूगल AI स्टूडियो इज कि ये इससे जो कोड जनरेट होगा वो डायरेक्टली हम गिटहब पे सेव कर सकते हैं। अगर गिटहब पे आ गया तो हम डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, कहीं और वेबसाइट पे भी डिप्लॉय कर सकते हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें कर सकते हैं। सो एक टूल ये है जिससे हम वो चीज बिल्ड कर सकते हैं। तो आप जैसे देखेंगे उस पर काम करने पे लग जाएगा। विल डिस्कस इट इन डिटेल लेटर ऑन। जो दूसरा टूल है यूजिंग विच वी कैन डू, एंड द थिंग इज ये फ्री टूल है। ये जो है जेमिनी AI स्टूडियो, ये फ्री टूल है फॉर बिल्डिंग एप्लीकेशंस। आप ये डेफिनेटली चेकआउट कर सकते हैं। देयर इज वन मोर टूल एंड दैट इज द टूल आई विल रिकमेंड, बट वो थोड़ा टेक्निकल है। तो उसमें हम क्या करते हैं, बेसिकली जैसे मैं आपको दिखा रहा था, अभी हम काम कर रहे थे, I can just do software, और इसके अंदर टर्मिनल रन करके I can run Gemini। तो ये सब सेटअप कैसे करना है मैं आपको लास्ट टाइम बताऊंगा, नेक्स्ट टाइम बताऊंगा, बट मैं इस फोल्डर के अंदर भी Gemini रन कर सकता हूँ। तो मैं उसको जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शन दूंगा वो इस फोल्डर में बनाते जाएगा, एंड देन माय एप्लीकेशन विल बी बिल्ट। तो अभी टाइम लगेगा, तो आई डोंट वांट टू गो थ्रू द एंटायर डेमो, बट नेक्स्ट टाइम आई कैन शो यू कि वो कैसे बिल्ड कर लेगा अपने आप। बट उसके लिए भी टूल्स हैं हमारे पास। ठीक है सर, ये
थैंक
नेक्स्ट
यू,
टाइम
थैंक
मैं
यू सर, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर।
यस सर।
Anyone else?
एनीथिंग?
Hello, sir. Sir, can
यस
you
सर।
give short summary on Notebook LM? In short,
Notebook
sir.
LM के लिए we have another session also. Don't worry, friends.
जी जी जी।
अभी आज
तो
की
सो वी, यस, आप वाला सेशन अटेंड कीजिए सर, उसके बाद अगर चाहिए तो वी कैन डिस्कस इट व्हेन आई कम
यस
बैक
यस
ऑन।
आज का अपना पहला दिन है, एकदम ओवरडोज
जी
भी नहीं होना चाहिए। यस यस
Okay, ma'am.
सो
तो
Okay.
थोड़ा
थर्सडे
सा
को वी
अपन
कैन डिस्कस सर।
सॉरी
जी
सर,
यस
जैसे क्वेश्चन है जो
सर।
कोडिंग हम डेवलप करते हैं उसको गूगल कोलैब में, जैसे अपने गूगल एआई स्टूडियो में हम कोई कोड डेवलप करते हैं, उसको
जी सर।
गूगल कोलैब में अगर उसको लॉन्च करते हैं तो फिर
जी
बाद में
सर।
उसमें उसको कन्वर्ट करके दे देता है, क्या वो इजी टास्क है?
हाँ सर, तो गूगल कोलैब में भी एआई फीचर है, बट अगर आप कुछ भी ऐसा काम कर रहे हैं तो आई वुड से गूगल एआई स्टूडियो यूज कीजिए, वो काफी ज्यादा अच्छा है। गूगल
तो
कोलैब
थैंक
से,
यू।
गूगल कोलैब से आप जनरली सिर्फ जुपिटर नोटबुक में काम कर सकते हैं, बट इसमें आप कोई सी भी लैंग्वेज में काम कर सकते हैं।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
जी सर। जी
सर,
सर।
आज के सेशन की ये जो वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग है वो मिलेगी?
हाँ हाँ सर, मैं रिकॉर्ड कर रही हूँ सेशन। आई विल ट्राई टू शेयर बाय टुनाइट। ओके
ओके मैडम।
या चलिए फ्रेंड्स, फिर यहाँ पे हम रुकते हैं। सर के और 2 सेशन हैं हमारे साथ 2-3 दिनों के बाद। तो सर और अच्छे और टॉपिक्स पे अपने साथ बात करेंगे, थोड़ा एडवांस पार्ट हम सीखेंगे। So I extend my sincere thanks to respected Anurag sir once again on behalf of all the participants. Thank you so much sir for engaging excellent session for all of us.
थैंक्स अ लॉट मैम, एंड थैंक यू एवरीवन। सी यू अगेन।
Thank you
थैंक
sir.
यू
Good
सर।
day sir. Thank you. Thank you sir.
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू
थैंक यू
Thank
सो
सर।
you
मच सर।
everyone.
थैंक यू
Yeah.
मैडम।
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, sir.
आपको
थैंक यू
Thank
सर।
you. Thank you
थैंक यू
Tolu.
सर।
Thank
यू
you,
सर,
sir.
थैंक
Yeah.
यू सर,
So
थैंक यू सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir.
this is all for our today's sessions. तो अभी आप लोग थोड़ा रेस्ट कर लीजिए. Then
थैंक
submit your
यू
today's
सर,
report.
थैंक यू।
Yes. Just a minute. Please
Thank you, sir.
listen. Listen please. While writing a report, you need not to write too much technical part. Okay, just whatever the different tools sir has discussed, just mention it, their usability, उसके benefits क्या बताए सर ने। एकदम simplified language में आपको report लिखना है, just an abstract। बहुत technical terminologies में मत जाइएगा report लिखने के दौरान। Okay, so this is all about our day 1. I hope you all like the sessions। ऐसे ही हम आगे और AI के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। तो हम कल मिलते हैं सुबह 10:15 फॉर अवर सेकंड डे। थैंक यू सो मच ऑल ऑफ यू।
थैंक यू मैडम।
थैंक यू मैडम।
थैंक यू। नाउ यू कैन
थैंक यू।
लीव द
थैंक
मीटिंग
यू मैम।
ऑल
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक
थैंक
यू
यू
थैंक यू
वेरी
मैम।
मच।
मैम।
थैंक यू सो मच मैम।
Gugu nang kay jawr, yung sa lunang